What's going on, my fellow stock market trader and investor homies? It's your boy Kevin. Welcome back to Touchdown Trades. Elon Musk is officially the GOAT. He had a cult following before now, but after what he just did, he is officially the GOAT. The biggest badass around, swinging his giant, when he walks, it's just like an elephant trunk, a figurative elephant trunk, just swinging back and forth. Huge balls the size of cantaloupes on Elon Musk here. He is just swinging it around left and right as he walks. I'm sure you've seen the news. He just made a run at Twitter. He just made a massive run on Twitter and their stock. So back on March 25th, we need to rewind a little bit. He made a Twitter poll, and he said, free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? And almost 2.1 million votes came in on this Twitter poll, and a 70.4% of the vote said no. So a wide majority of the people who voted on this Twitter poll think that Twitter censorship is not adhering to free speech. And this is important. This set the table. All right, he's like, all right, people think Twitter's doing a crap job. Maybe if I come in and take up a majority of the stock, I can get on the board possibly, and I can right this ship and make a difference, improve Twitter, and make money doing so. And yesterday, we got the news, folks. We got the news that he just did one of the most badass things I've ever seen anybody do in the stock market. Number one, the most badass thing is probably The Big Short with Michael Burry. He called the housing mortgage crisis and made billions of dollars. And then this is close. This is a close second. Actually, this may be the most badass thing. We've seen people make runs at stocks, make a run at a publicly traded company on TV shows and movies, but it's never really been highlighted like this in real life. If you've ever seen the TV show Yellowstone, Beth and her partner were always making runs at these small publicly traded companies. They'd attack them, they'd beat down the stock's price, and then they'd swoop in, buy a majority of the stock, and then the news would get it out there, and then they would ride it higher. All right, so Elon Musk basically did the exact same thing. He went on Twitter, bashed Twitter. He went on Twitter to bash Twitter, hurt Twitter, and then bought it. I mean, you can't make that shit up, right? So Twitter stock rallies again after Tesla chief Elon Musk is named to its board. So on Monday, we got news that he had bought about 9.2% of Twitter stock. And then Tuesday, we get news that he is going to be appointed to the board. All right, so Twitter shares continued their sharp climb Tuesday after Tesla CEO Elon Musk joined the social network's board following his purchase of 9.2% stake in the company. He bought about 73.4 million shares of Twitter stock, making him Twitter's largest shareholder. Dude is not playing games. He's out here in these streets banging heads. All right, so these shares were valued at about $2.9 billion. They say he has a net worth of about $288 billion. So this would just be about 1% of Elon's net worth. The article goes on to say Musk has for years been one of Twitter's most famous users with a follower base that is now over 80 million. His tweets have gotten him in trouble with the SEC, blah, blah, blah. This is the ultimate badass move. And what I think is going on is that Elon Musk is not a political dude, right? He's not a political dude. He calls it how he sees it. He gets in trouble with the left. He gets in trouble with the right. He doesn't give a damn about left or right. He cares about fact. He cares about truth. He cares about what he sees, and that's what he believes. He believes what he sees, and he's just a black and white type of dude. So I think he thinks that Twitter is doing a crap job with their censorship. Just think about Twitter right now. The people that get the most attention on Twitter are these people who are not even real, right? They're young 20-year-old, super liberal, super woke, just screaming as loud as they can, crying as loud as they can. And then if you scream loud, you cry loud, you act a fool, maybe you get attention, and maybe you get your way. And that's not the way things should be. People should be able to express their opinion on Twitter no matter what aisle or what political side of the aisle they're on, right? And I'm not saying you should be able to say racist shit or sexist or homophobic shit on Twitter and get away with it. Obviously, you can't be doing that. Nobody can be doing that. There's no room for that shit. But you should be able to be a conservative and be on Twitter and express your values. You should be able to be a liberal and go on Twitter and express your opinion. Well, right now, there's really only one side of the political aisle that is allowed to express their opinion on Twitter without getting banned or shadow banned. And Twitter sales have still continued to climb. They're still losing money, but their sales have drastically improved over the last several years. So imagine if Twitter was accommodating to both parties, political parties, right? You've eliminated almost half of your market share because you've just wiped a bunch of people off your platform. So imagine if you accommodate those people, instead of having $5.08 billion in sales, maybe you could have $10 billion in sales. Instead of losing $221 million, maybe you can post a net profit. And I think that's what Elon sees. He sees that Twitter is not doing a really good job. They're censoring people, and that if he came in low, buy low, fixed the problem, and then you're not only fixing Twitter, but he's probably also going to make a ton of money. Not probably. He's already up over $1 billion on this trade, a massive win for Elon Musk. All right, and this is one of the funnier parts to this story. Jack Dorsey, ex-Twitter CEO and co-founder of Twitter, came out and tweeted an endorsement of Elon making this acquisition. And you know Jack Dorsey hates this. He hates this. But Twitter stock did so well and is up so big after Elon made this acquisition that what are you going to do? You're going to come out and say, no, we're going to block this. You're not going to be on the board. He can't do that. He's already been pretty much exiled from Twitter. And their new CEO, Parag Agrawal, I'll probably butchered that name. Forgive me if I butchered it. I'm excited to share that we are appointing Elon Musk to our board. Through conversations with Elon in recent weeks, it became clear to us that he would bring great value to our board. All right, so you know this CEO, he does not want this. He does not want this. Elon Musk is going to come in there with his giant dick swinging back and forth, and he's going to try to take over, and this CEO is going to be in the corner in timeout, facing the wall, and he is losing power. But what are you going to do? If you're the CEO, what are you going to do? You're going to say, no, we're not going to appoint you to the board, and then all the shareholders get pissed and vote you out of your own company? No, you got to accommodate Elon. He is extremely popular from the shareholders and the public. You can't fight it, and these guys absolutely hate it. All right, so what's next for Twitter as a company and for Twitter stock? All right, we'll go look at the chart in just a second. So I think this is a real big move for Twitter. All right, so if they can eliminate the censorship, they can accommodate both parts of the country. The country's extremely divided right now. Extremely divided. It's not even funny. But if you can have both Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, liberal, woke, rednecks on this platform, and sure, no, like I said earlier, no racist bullshit, no sexist, homophobic, Nazi crap. Nobody likes that crap. None of that. But you can have conservatives express their opinions just as easy as liberals. Tune out the noise, tune out the woke crazies screaming from their mom's basement. Just tune it out. It doesn't matter. You have to be able to let people express their opinions. Free speech is so important. So if they can do that, I think Twitter is positioned to see a real big increase in sales over the coming years. But here's the issue. After this announcement was made, Twitter stock went on a massive massive run. Let's take a look at the chart and we'll break this down. All right, so Twitter was trading at, before this happened, it was trading at $40. We'll call it $40 a share. And now it's trading at $51 a share. That's a pretty big move. Now, I'm not saying it's overvalued up here, but what I am saying is I'm going to be waiting on a pullback to buy Twitter stock. I don't chase just because Elon Musk bought Twitter stock, he bought a huge stake in Twitter, doesn't mean that I'm going to go out and FOMO in and buy the hype. I'm going to wait for a pullback. I do think Twitter is not a bad long-term investment, right? They're going to be making changes. Elon's not just buying $1 billion worth of Twitter stock. He's not going to do nothing. He's going to go in there and make changes. We've already seen what he's done with Tesla, SpaceX, and I think he can go in there and get things done. So where do we buy at, or where am I looking to buy at? Here's an obvious area. All right, so right here, we got an obvious area of support. This $40 area of support. I think that's a really good area to acquire and start a position, take some nibbles, and if you break down through there, you got tons of volume and support traded in this area down here all the way down to $30 a share. So you start a position at 40, keeps going lower, buy at 35, and a cost average in. I think Twitter is a good long-term buy and hold. They've been beaten up in the press. They've been shunning half of America from their platform. And if that all comes to an end, this thing could be trading back up where it was a year and a half ago, up at $65, $70 a share. And it may just beeline right back up there, right? We may not have an opportunity to buy the dip. But my number one rule in investing is buy the dip, buy low, sell high. And I can't buy up here at 50 when just a few weeks ago it was trading at 30. That's just one of my rules that I adhere to, and it's just the way I invest. It's just the way I trade. All right, that's going to wrap up Elon Musk's run at Twitter. I love you guys. Remember, I'm way too stupid to be a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. Do your own research. Hey, if you want to get 5 free shares of stock, check out the link in the description for Moomoo. It's the broker that I use every day in my trading and my investing, commission-free broker, and they're offering the Touchdown Trades community the best sign-up bonus in the business, baby. 5 free stocks valued up to $17,000 of free money, and you're guaranteed 1 free share of NEO if you deposit $100 or more. You can't beat that deal. I'll catch you in the next one. Until next time, deuces.